Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod, and this is Star Wars 7 by 7 and I promise you today that we will not have any crazy porg talk. It was only the April Fool's episode, and thank you so much for all the fun comments and reactions that you shared with me over it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was something actually that went back all the way as far as some of the, oh gosh, I can't remember if it was before The Last Jedi came out or if it was afterward, but I'm pretty sure it was before, when Roku Depot, which does a lot of reviews of Star Wars podcasts, talked about the porg count in various episodes. They were actually counting the number of mentions of the word porg in their episodes. And so far, we haven't gotten to the point where they would do their weekly review, so they haven't said anything about that April Fool's Day episode yet, but if it's going to show up in their review, then it'll show up in the Thursday column of the equation. In other words, it'll be happening on, I'm doing the math, Thursday, April 5th, when they come out with that. So we'll have to see if they say something about it. Anyway, so we are actually talking about Yoda and Luke in the Jedi Library this time. And what I wanted to share with you from the Last Jedi novelization, things that we learned from Jason Fry's expansion of the Last Jedi story, is that Yoda says, "Ending this am I," and he is referring specifically to the fact that Luke has gone to that tree a number of times trying to burn that sucker down, and he just hasn't brought himself to do it. And specifically, he had attempted to try to burn the tree down, or convince himself to burn the tree down, just before Rey arrived on Ahch-To. There's a line in the novelization and the audiobook, of course, which is how we're going through it, about how he had tried to do it so many times before and just couldn't quite muster it. So yeah, Yoda has had enough of it, and he says, ending all this I am, and that's it. But here's where things get a little tricky, because Yoda, that sneaky little son of a gun, has something to say that really should be interpreted in from a certain point of view kind of a way. And I've got an audio clip of Mark Thompson doing the performance of Yoda here. So here is what Yoda has to say about those books inside the Jedi Library.
Read them, have you? Page turners they were not. Wisdom they held, but that library contained nothing the girl Rey does not already possess.
Now, like we've noted in previous episodes, and also what we saw in the movie too, we never see Rey actually take those books, and so we don't know if it's a magical thing, if Yoda somehow went whew, and made the books appear on the Millennium Falcon. But I have a feeling this is a flag to us to say, oh yeah, Yoda is kind of giving Luke a wink and a nudge and telling him that, oh, Rey actually took the books. Nothing that she doesn't already possess, because she has the books, right? So I think Yoda is messing with Luke in this moment, and Luke does not realize it, and he's kind of messing with us as the audience members too. So that I thought was a fun thing, and it's also interesting to note for the novelization that Yoda has not appeared to Luke in many, many, many years, and they're not precise about the time frame, which, they're not precise about a lot of things in the new canon if they don't have to be, because it gives them wiggle room, basically, for storytelling purposes. But it says in the novelization that it had been many years since he had seen his wizened Jedi master, and that his initial reaction was one of joy in seeing him. So that was really lovely, but then obviously it turned sour because of the whole "I'm gonna burn it down" kind of mentality. And that right there is going to do it for the meat of the podcast on the video version of it. For the audio version, we're going to do a little bit more, and that will be over at sw7x7.com/iTunes or wherever you like to listen to podcasts. But for now, it just remains for me to say thank you so much for watching this very unporg-filled episode, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.